Hey y'all, it's your girl Symone and welcome back to my channel. So as y'all can see by the title, today is another story time, and let's just say Merry Christmas, y'all. Let me just say I am recycling pajamas. Don't judge me. And yeah, so y'all already know what to do. Before we get into this story, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already doing so. We on the road to get into them big numbers. Oh yeah, y'all, I've been playing in makeup. I don't think it's like cute or whatever, but I did a little something. But anyway, let's get straight into this story. So this story is about crazy, y'all favorite. So yeah, this story is about crazy, so I'm gonna go ahead and get straight into it. So this was back when I used to work at the Beverly Center. I used to work in Bloomingdale's at the Beverly Center or whatever, right? So Crazy used to come up to my job like on my lunch and stuff like that, and like sometimes he'll bring me food or like we'll eat, and like a lot of times on my lunch break I'll walk around the mall and I'll shop because well, they don't have, like, they still got the Forever 21 there, but they don't have this other store. It was another, I don't know if they still got the Forever 21. I think they do. But anyway, it was this other store up in there. It was like this little clothing store or whatever. I don't remember what it was called, but they used to have cute stuff. So I used to always walk around the mall, or I'll go to Target across the street. I used to just buy a whole bunch of unnecessary shit. So when he would come up there, like sometimes we'll walk around the mall and shop together, right? So y'all, oh my god. So one day he came up to the mall or whatever, and this was like right before my birthday, right? So this was like early November. So he came up there and we was like walking around and stuff like that, and he was like he was finna go inside of the Gucci store, and I was just like, all right. And he was like, don't come with me, like, because I was gonna go in this little clothing store anyway. So he was like, yeah, go in there because I'm trying to get something. I don't want you to see what I'm gonna get. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna be in here for a minute. You know where I'm at, you know where to find me. So I'm in the store for a cool little minute or whatever, and I'm just walking around looking at shit. And I overhear, like, after I had already been there for like a cool minute, like these girls that end up coming into the store, I overhear the girls talking, like they was talking about like hair and shit like that, right? So one of the girls, I overheard her talking like that she do hair. So I'm like listening because I'm like, ooh, I really want a ponytail. Like whenever I do my own ponytails, they don't never come out good. Like they don't come out. I cannot do my own ponytail for nothing in the world. Like I ain't got the grip, I ain't got the slick, I ain't got none of that. So I overhear them talking, and I go over there, and we're gonna get a girl name. Her name is gonna called Saltwater, and we'll call her Saltwater, yeah. So I go over there and I'm like, hi. I'm like, not to be all in y'all business and y'all conversation and like that, but I'm like, did you say you do hair? And she was like, yes girl, it's cool, like, hey, I do hair. How we laughing, talking. She showed me pictures and stuff like that because she was talking about a ponytail, remember, like with the girl. So she showed me pictures and all that other stuff. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna have to get something done from you, like, you know. And she was like, oh, okay, yeah, for sure, just hit me. So we exchanged numbers. She was like, because she was like, here's my business IG, but she was like, here's my number because I'm always deactivating my IG, like, so just hit me, girl. Like, my name is Saltwater. And I'm like, okay, I'm Symone, y'all. So after that, my birthday come, of course. So I didn't end up getting I already had how I was gonna get my hair done, because mind you, this was probably like, my birthday is November 8th. This probably happened around like November 2nd. This was like early on. So yeah, so time go by or whatever, and it was like after my birthday, like immediately after, I end up hitting Saltwater up, and I'm just like, hey, do you have any openings for like this day or whatever? So she like, yeah, I got some openings or whatever. And oh wait, let me go back. Woo, rewind. So after I exchanged information with Saltwater, I was about to leave out the store because, mind you, I had already been up in there for like a cool minute. So when I was about to leave out the store, I'm hitting up Crazy, and I'm like, where you at? Like, I'm finna come out the store, or like, are you done? So he like, oh, I'm gonna meet me by the Starbucks upstairs, like. And I'm just like, you done? He like, yeah, but I don't want to go over there, so just meet me by the Starbucks upstairs. So I'm just thinking like, this nigga's a weirdo. Like, he always doing some weird shit, you know. And mind you, on this day that he did come to the mall, his friend had came with him. His friend don't even name, he don't matter. So he did come with him. So I'm just like whatever. So I met him upstairs by the Starbucks, and he was just like, okay, well, I'm finna go, I'm done, whatever. And my lunch was finna be over anyway. So I'm just like, all right, well, I'll see you later, like, whatever. He was just being real weird. Like, he really was in a rush to get about the mall. So yeah, so I end up telling him eventually, like, yeah, I had met this girl at the mall. She do hair, da-da-da-da, like, you know, all this other stuff. So he just kept asking, like, who is this girl? Who is this girl? Like, do you got a picture of her? I'm like, no, I got no picture of her. And then I show him, like, I'm like, oh, let me show you her IG. Let me see if she bring it back, because she always deactivating it. So I'm like, I got an appointment with her. I'm going to go get my hair done. So he like, oh, okay, whatever. So I'm showing him her hair page. And on her hair page, she didn't have no pictures of herself. She only had like pictures of her clients and the hair that she do. Y'all. So I'm just like, yeah, this her or whatever. And he just like, okay, like, but who is she? I'm like, you don't know her. Like, why you doing so much? Like, he like, I know I don't. I'm just saying because bitches be weird and you just don't want to let anybody in your head. Which I'm like, I understand. I'm like, but her work look good, so I'm going to take that chance, right? So, yeah. So, anyway, the day came for me to get my hair done by her. And on this day when I was going to go get my hair done by her, y'all, at this time, my car was messed up. So I was like, needed my car to be fixed or whatever. So Crazy dropped me off to go get my hair done by her or whatever. So we laughing, we talking, all this other stuff. She was cool. Like, you know, we really cool. We just laughing it up. And I'm telling her, like, y'all working at mall, working Bloomingdale's, all this other stuff. She telling me that she worked in the Fox Hills. She worked at Forever 20 in the Fox Hills. So I'm like, oh, okay. So at this point, we talking about our discounts. And I'm just like, yeah, girl, if you want to come through, you could use my discount. She like, you could use mine. So we just like really like, okay. I'm like, okay, she cool. We talking about so much, right? So when it was time for me to get picked up, I'm hitting up Crazy like, I'm almost done. I'm like, but take your time, because me and her really was just vibing. And she didn't have no other head to do after mine anyway. Like, I was her last for the day. So when Crazy finally came to get me, he had texted me before, like, when he was there, he was like, oh, I'm outside. He was like, can you drive? Because I don't feel like driving. So I'm like, okay, I'll be out in like 5 minutes. Y'all, when I get out the house, I'm walking out the house, she walking me out or whatever. Crazy gets out the car, he's stretching, doing all the moves, and then walk around to the passenger seat. And I was just irritated. I'm just like, why is he doing so much? Like, he want to be seen so bad. Like, what the fuck? So I'm just like, bye, girl. Like, look, you know, you give an embarrassed bye, because I'm just like, oh, look at my fucking idiot doing the most, want to be seen. So I just look back like, bye, girl. And she just gave me like a smile, like a smile, and was like, bye. So I'm like, okay. So I get in the car and I'm just like, why'd you do all of that? Because usually Crazy is the type that want to play like, he want to act like everybody is watching him, and oh, this might be the enemies, this, that. So I'm thinking like, why'd you do all of that? And he just like, oh, I just want to stretch, I can't get over. I'm like, yeah, but you could have been gotten in the passenger seat. And he was like, well, I needed to be in the driver's seat just in case before you came outside somebody pulled up and I had to pull off because I can't be caught slipping. So I'm like, okay, you make sense, whatever. So he just like, okay, so you like your hair is cute. And I'm just like, yeah, it's cute. He was like, I wouldn't go back to her though. And I'm just like, why? And he just like, because I mean, it's cute, but I just feel like I wouldn't go back to her. Like, you could go to somebody else. I'm like, I don't know, I'll probably go back to her. I'm like, she real cool. And I'm telling him like yeah, this counts, this, that, and like she want to hang out, like, and go for lunch and stuff like that. And he was just like, she just being a bit too nice, like. And I'm just like, it's, what's wrong with that? Like, you know, like, I don't get it. Well, she was supposed to do my hair and cuss me out, like, the fuck. So he just like, no, I don't know, I'm just saying, she just kind of weird or whatever, I don't know. And I'm just like, like, whatever. So later, time go by, that same, like, later that night, he kept bringing up her, like, he kept bringing up Saltwater. So he like, you said she don't have an Instagram? Like, that's weird. I'm like, oh, you know what? She just brought her Instagram back, and I just followed her today, like, because she said she reactivated. So I show him, I'm like, this is her. So when he looked at the picture, he was like, he got quiet, and he was just like, is her name Brittany? That's not her name, and that's not the name he asked me either. But that's not her name. So he was like, just saying the name. So he was like, is her name Brittany? I said, no, her name's Saltwater. And he was just like, oh, okay, I thought she was a girl went to school. I said, yeah, let me find out, like, stop playing with me, because I was finna say, like, you know, let me find out this a girl you used to mess with or something like that. He's like, nah, I don't know her. Like, I don't know her. So I'm like, all right, cool. Boom, cool. So yeah, so time go by, y'all, and mind you, so one day I had went to the mall, and I went to her mall. Like, we at this point, we still like kind of cool. We not best of friends or nothing, but I did go to use her discount, and she did come to use mine a few times. And like, when I had went to use her discount, she was like getting off of work. So after that, we did like eat in the food court and just talked and shit like that or whatever. Like, you know, I'm just like, she's cool. And she would just tell me so much shit like that's going on. I'll be telling her. So at that time, I used to tell everybody all my business. I used to be talking about crazy. Like, I used to be telling them everything. So I'm just telling them like, yeah, girl, that was my man that picked me up. And it was weird. Da 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 da. Like, all this, all that. You know, so she just like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. Like, how long y'all been together? Like, you know, so I'm just like, oh, we've been together for like a year and a half now. Like, well, a year and some change. It was like a year and some change at that time. So I'm like, yeah, we've been together for like a year and some change or whatever. And she's like, oh, okay. So like, y'all cool. Like, you know, like, why you still with him if it's all that drama and stuff? And I'm just like, I don't know, girl. Like, you know, I want to say, bitch, because I'm dumb and that's my man and I'm going to stick beside him. No, but I'm just like, you know what? I don't know. Like, I'm like, you know, I'm just learning to grow apart and eventually, you know, I'm like, I'm, you know, done waiting for somebody to get their shit together. She was just like, yeah, girl, because you shouldn't be putting up with that. You know, niggas ain't shit, da-da-da-da, all this. You would look so cute with my friend. Like, he just is a gentleman. Like, you would look so good with him, Symone. I'm just like, Saltwater, you know, I got a man. And I was just like, you know, okay, well, maybe, you know, I'm just playing along with her whole time. I don't plan on talking to her friend or whatever. So she like, yeah, like, you seem cool with him. So she was telling me, like, I'm actually having a kickback this weekend. If you want to come through, it's just gonna be like a lot of friends I went to high school with. It's just gonna be real cool, but you could come through. You real cool. So I'm just like, okay, like, all right, I'll come through. So I'm telling Crazy, like, yeah, guess who I was with today? I was with Saltwater and all this other this, you know. And he just like, why? I'm like, because she cool. He was like, but ain't she just supposed to be doing your hair? Like, why are you trying to be best friends with her? I'm like, I'm not trying to be best friends with her, but I'm like, I just want to use her discount today, and I'm not about to just use her for a discount and then dip. Like, she went to go eat and stuff, like. And he just like, I don't know, bitches just be weird or whatever. Like, I think she like me. I said, how the fuck do she like you when she ain't even seen you? He was like, you should have seen how she looked at me when I got out the car to get in the driver's seat. So I'm just like, here this nigga go with this weird shit. So I'm like, I doubt she even seen you. Like, you was parked on the street, she was still at her door. Like, I could see her, like, but bro, you're doing too much. So he just, I don't know, I just don't like it. Like, I just feel like bitches be doing too much. They want to get close to you to get close to your nigga. And I'm just like, bro, at this point, I'm annoyed because I'm just like, this nigga's a weirdo. The whole time I'm thinking in my head, like, she trying to hook me up with her homeboy, so you need to actually leave that shit alone. So I'm just like, boy, like, you're dumb as fuck. He was like, I'm just saying, like, I don't know, it's just weird. So I'm like, whatever. So I told him, I'm like, as a matter of fact, it's crazy that you said that she's weird because she invited me to her little kickback at her house this weekend, and I'm gonna go. And he was just like, quiet. And I'm like, what? He was like, I don't know. He's like, well, I got invited to a kickback too this weekend with me and my homies, but I think that we should just chill this weekend, just me and you, just kick it like in the house. We don't gotta go nowhere. So I'm like, well, the kickback sound kind of cool, like, you know, I don't mind. This time, this is when I am still like a real social person, but like, I was more social back then. Now I'm just more like, I be social, but I be to myself a lot too. So I'm just like, I don't know, like, it sound cool or whatever, like, you know. And he just like, nah, it really don't sound cool. I'm like, well, why don't I go to my kickback, you go to your kickback, and then we meet up at the end? And he just like, no, I just don't think so. I'm like, well, how about I go to my kickback and I just see you later? And I'm just like, because I don't want to just sit in the house, because sitting in his house would be boring as fuck, because I'll be the only one up, literally the only person in the house that's up. Everybody be sleep. Everybody. The sister sleep, the mama sleep, everybody sleep. He sleep. Like, everybody would be sleep, and I'll be up, and I'll be thinking like, damn, y'all got a bedtime around this motherfucker, because why at 9 y'all all sleep and I'm just up bored as hell? Like, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just like, I don't know, like, I'll let you know, like, we'll see. Like, unless you got outside plans for us, then I'm at the kickback. So I'm telling her, she like, yeah, girl, you really gonna come through? So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna come or whatever, like that. She's pressing, like, come. So I end up telling him, like, I'm gonna just go. I don't want to be rude because I do want to use her discount again this week. So how do I look not going to her party, but then telling her, like, hey, can I use your discount? So he like, whatever. So I go to the kickback, y'all. When I tell y'all, the friend that she was telling me about, she was really trying to push this nigga on me. Like, push him on me. Like, oh, it's Symone. Look at Symone. She's a real one. And this my friend. And he's a real nigga. He's the nigga, like, I swear, I don't understand how he's single. I don't understand how he's single. And I'm just sitting there like, bitch, I'm not single, Saltwater. So why is you doing all of that? But she just like doing the most like big up in his nigga. He just there like, yeah, so what's your name? And I'm just like, oh, you know, I was honest with him, like, you know, I know how to be cool and cordial with people, but at the same time, I'm not about to waste nobody's time. So I was honest with him. I'm like, you know, like, I have a boyfriend or whatever. And he just like, oh, okay, well, I don't really care about your boyfriend because I ain't trying to be your mans, but maybe if it get there, I could be your mans. But, you know, just talking a whole lot of shit I really didn't want to hear. So I'm just, you know, engaging in the kickback, still having a good time. Like, I didn't let that get to me. I didn't get mad. Like, I'm still having a good time. So afterwards, she just like, did y'all exchange info? And he was like, she got a man and she ain't trying to let up off of him. And I'm just like, yeah, because I love Crazy and I'm gonna go be with him tonight. Y'all, so I'm just like, yeah. So he was just like, all right, yeah. She like, y'all should just still follow each other on Instagram or something, like follow each other or whatever. So I'm like, whatever. So we follow each other on Instagram. It's like, all he gonna see is pictures of me, sometimes pictures of Crazy, sometimes pictures sometimes quotes of me talking shit about Crazy. Like, he just about to be in my business. He ain't even gonna want me. Even when I leave Crazy, after seeing all the shit I done posted, he ain't gonna want me. Like, so I'm just thinking like, girl, leave it alone. But we exchange like Instagrams or whatever. So I ended up going with Crazy or whatever. And y'all, mind you, when I was at the kickback, oh girl, like when she wasn't just doing the most, she would step away and she just kept blowing somebody up. And I had asked her too, Saltwater. I asked her, called her, oh girl. I asked her, I'm like, Saltwater, like, you good? Like, I asked her if she was good because she seemed irritated. She was just like, no, like my man was supposed to come, but he was on some weird shit. Like, I guess he ain't finna show up, but it's all good. It's all good. That's why I'm here having a good time with my friends. Like, you know, so I'm just like, okay, cool. So y'all, and I ain't gonna give y'all no details on who Saltwater was, but I'm gonna just say that they went to Washington, her and her friends. So anyway, what happened? So yeah, so I ended up going with Crazy or whatever, and going to Crazy house, and I'm just telling him like, yo, the kickback was cool or whatever like that. And you know, I'm just like, it was like fun. He just like, oh, you meet anybody? And I'm just like, no, I didn't meet nobody. He was like, so if I go to your new following on Instagram, you didn't follow nobody. So at this point I'm thinking like, this nigga is crazy as fuck. Like, did he really go through and see if I followed somebody new? You know, back then he used to have that feature on the side where it's hell, it used to snitch like, this person just start following this person. So I'm thinking like, maybe he's seen that. So I'm like, what the fuck? So he like, so you didn't start following some nigga that you met at the kickback? But I'm thinking like, it could have been a random, like, how would you know I met this person at the kickback? So I'm like, oh, well, a few people did exchange Instagrams. It was nothing like that. And he just like, okay, so yeah, so you in niggas' faces at kickbacks. And I'm just like, bro, it wasn't even nothing like that. So I'm just thinking like, this nigga's a psychic. But I'm thinking at the same time, nah, he was on that little side part and he seen me follow somebody and you just assuming it was from the kickback. But I'm not gonna lie, so I just said, yeah, a lot of people exchange information, I mean IGs and stuff like that. And I did follow this girl too, so yeah, so I'm just like, the fuck, like, you're doing too much. So he just like, I really just don't like that girl for you. I don't like Saltwater. She's just weird and you really don't need a discount that bad, because he's like, she really ain't even give you a big discount, so it's not even that deep for you to be just being a bitch friend for a discount. And I'm like, I'm not being her friend for a discount. Like, she's really cool. Like, you know, he really was just pressed. Like, he did not like Saltwater. So I'm just like, whatever. So okay, now fast forward. This was the day before Thanksgiving. Fast forward, day before Thanksgiving. So mind you, this whole kickback thing probably happened like the weekend before. My car is still messed up, all this other stuff. So the day, it was like the day before Thanksgiving, I had to work later that night. So I had spent the night at Crazy's house that night before. And so let's just say Thanksgiving was on the 24th. Okay, so on the 22nd, I spent the night at Crazy house, and I woke up, it's the 23rd now. So I wake up or whatever, we wake up and we go eat. So I had to go to work later that day, but when we went to eat, y'all, somebody was blowing his phone up, like blowing his phone up on the aux, blowing his phone up, just blowing his phone up. So I'm just like, who is calling you like that? And he just like, that's the homies, because we supposed to go get some money today. We supposed to leave right now, but you know, he's like, but I'm with you right now, so that could wait or whatever. Like, we eating, we good, you know. So I'm just like, oh, okay. I'm like, why don't you just answer it and tell them that? He's like, nah, because they gonna be tripping. Like, bro, you're eating while we could be getting money? Like, we could be out here working, like, you eating? Like, you know. So I'm just like, okay, like, understandable. Because it will be times, so let me tell y'all, the reason why I was believing that part, because I'm like, it would be times where his friends would blow his phone up, like, and blow his phone the fuck up. So I'm just like, all right, whatever. So we eating, I'm noticing he, like, texting back. So I'm thinking, like, you're texting back, but your phone is still ringing. So how are you ignoring niggas and acting like you sleep if you reply? Like, this not making no sense to me. So I'm paying attention. I'm just peeping everything or whatever. So I'm just like, all right, you weird or whatever. And I was just telling him, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, so he's like, so yes, you want me to take you to work or whatever? So I'm like, nah, it's cool, you go do what you gotta do. I'm like, just be to pick me up after work. So what he was gonna do that day, he said he was about to go make some money and he's gonna give me the money to get my car fixed or whatever. So I was just like, okay, whatever, like, you know, I'll just catch the bus to work. Like, it's no biggie to me. Like, I'll catch the bus to work. But I'm like, but on my way off, when I get off of work, pick me up, like, you know, come be getting off late. So he like, yeah, no, I'm gonna be there to pick you up. I'm gonna be there to pick you up. You sure? I'm like, yeah, go with your homeboys, like, you know, go do what you gotta do. So, and I also told him, I'm like, oh yeah, and Thanksgiving Day in the morning, I got an appointment with Saltwater. I'm gonna get my hair done. So he like, you can't get nobody else to do your hair? I'm like, no. So he's just like trying to find people on Instagram. What about her? What about her? Look at this girl on Instagram. Look at this person. Oh, she do hair good. Look at this. I'm like, it's cool. I'm gonna just go to Saltwater. I already set the appointment. Like, it's cool. I ain't finna flake on my girl. Like, you know, it's cool. So he just like, like he just had a whole attitude about it. So I'm just like, all right, whatever. So I end up going to work or whatever, and I'm at work and everything's cool. It's getting close to the time for me to get off of work, and I'm just like, oh, let me text Saltwater and let her know, like, girl's still on, I'm still gonna be there in the morning, because she said that was the only availability that she had was Thanksgiving morning. So I'm like, hey girl, 9 a.m. tomorrow, I'm gonna still be there, like, just wanted to confirm and let you know I ain't playing. And she was just like, yeah, no girl, it's cool, it's cool. She was like, and girl, I'm gonna have to tell you about this. She said, because right now, she was like, I'm out with my home, she was like, right now I'm out with my nigga and we sliding, girl, so it's a lot. I'm gonna have to tell you the tea, because she used to tell me, we used to really talk. So she's like, I'm gonna have to tell you the tea, girl. It's, girl, like, yeah, see you tomorrow, boo. Just hit me up when you wake up. She was like, because you probably could come earlier if you feel like it. Like, just hit me when you up, because, you know, I'll be up. But yeah, I'm with my nigga tonight. And yeah, so I said, okay, girl, do your thing. Like, you know, all right, bitch. So she like, yeah. So at this point, it's getting closer to me getting off. Probably I was getting off at her like 10, no, probably like 11, 10ish, like 11 or whatever. I don't know, it was getting off late. So I'm texting Crazy, I'm like, Crazy, I'm finna be off work, da 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 da. And he like, yeah, it's cool, like, you want me to come? He's like, I'm gonna be on my way. So I told him, I'm like, you know what, it is holiday season, like, and I work at the Beverly Centers in Beverly Hills. I'm like, and his car is like tinted up, you most likely finna come with something, because he wouldn't want to come by himself. He used to always bring this one homeboy, because his homeboy had a license. He didn't have no license, so it's like hit or miss or whatever. So I'm like, you know what, just to avoid the whole getting pulled over situation, I'm like, I'll meet you, I'll catch the bus by the Staples Center in downtown LA. Like, it was a bus that went right there. I'm like, I'll catch you there and you could just pick me up from there. Me being just so generous and nice, y'all, which I'm happy I did do that later. Y'all see why. So I'm just being nice. Like, and he like, you sure I could come all the way too? I don't mind. I'm like, no, it's cool. Like, I'll catch the bus to by the Staples Center and you could just pick me up from there. So he like, all right, if that's what you want to do. So I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, I'll let you know when I'm on the bus and when I'm getting close, like, you know, because he said he wasn't going to be that far from that area. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to let you know. So I'm on the bus. I'm like, on the bus, you know, just keep on, just letting him know, like, so I should be here by this time. He like, okay, yeah, I'll be there. So when I'm like, I'm 2 stops away, he's like, I'm 5 minutes away. I'm like, okay. Like, this was our first time doing this, y'all, because like I said, my car's messed up. So I'm like, okay, you're on it, cool, good job, you know. So I'm just like, or whatever. So when I'm getting off the bus, I'm just like, where are you? Like, you know, it's a lot of parking lots right there. Back then, this is when they used to have a Hooters across the street. They don't got the Hooters there no more, because now it's like a luxury apartment building. But so I'm like, where you at? He like, I'm gonna be pulling up in 15 minutes. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm about to go in Hooters and order me something because I'm hungry. And he just like, all right, yeah, go do that, whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, so sister pointed out to me, I'm looking at my phone, just talking to my sister on the phone. She pointed out to me, she like, bitch, you still at Hooters? So I'm like, hold up, I am still at Hooters. Where the fuck Crazy at? Like, time went by. So I'm just like, what the fuck? So I text him like, hey, where you at? No reply, y'all, no reply at all. So I'm like, what the fuck? So time go by. So I'm like, hold on, let me call him. I'll call him, no answer. Phone is just ringing. I call again, ringing. I'm like, what the fuck? So at this point, I'm so irritated, because I'm just like, no, this bitch ass nigga didn't. Like, no, you didn't. Like, bro, if that was the case, I would have just probably hopped on another bus. At this time, I know y'all probably thinking like, why you didn't catch an Uber? Like, my Uber account was fucked up. Like, it was fucked. So I couldn't do that. And yeah, I'm like, I could have just figured out a way or call somebody to come get me. Like, you know, I wouldn't have just been sitting here. And at this point, my phone is finna die. So I'm telling my sister, I'm hot and I'm just crying. Like, mind you, I didn't start crying immediately, y'all. Time went by. Like, at this point, it is like midnight. Time went by. Hooters is about to fucking close, I think. Was they finna close? I don't know. I needed to get home. Time went the fuck by, and I'm just like crying, and I'm trying not to cry out here. It's drunk people just walking around happy, living their life, and I'm out here, I'm just like, what the fuck? So she was just like, my sister like, what the fuck? So if y'all seen the story time about like the sugar daddy, y'all, that bailed my mans out of jail, which was crazy, and the same one from the worst day ever, him, yeah, that's my sister called him. So she like, I'm about to call him or whatever, and she was like, I'm gonna have him come get you. And I'm just like, fuck, like, man, out of all people, because my phone was finna die. So I'm like, it is kind of better if she do it, because if I call somebody, like, it's kind of, I tell her exactly where I was at and all the other shit. I'm like, if I call somebody, it's just gonna be kind of hard, because they can't call me back, like all this other stuff. So I just was like, tell him I'm gonna be standing across the street from like I'm gonna be in front of the convention center, like by the bus stop right there. It was a lot of people right there and stuff like that, waiting for their Ubers. I was gonna say Lubers, waiting on their Ubers and shit. And I'm just like, I'm gonna be right there, so just tell him. So she's like, all right, my phone ended up dying. Y'all, I'm hot. I'm standing there trying so hard not to cry. I'm cold and shit. It's people pulling up. It was like a group of guys put up and they was like, you need a ride? I'm just like, like, no, the fuck? So anyway, the guy ended up coming. He ended up taking me home. Y'all, the whole car ride, I'm sitting here looking out the window like this. Like, tears just falling. Because I'm just so hurt. Like, how could you leave me out here for dead? Like, you left me for dead. Remember when Erica left Scrappy for dead? Y'all, he left me for dead. So I'm over here crying, and she didn't tell him, like, my situation like that. But he was just like, It's just crazy. He said how I'm always here for you when you need me. Whenever you need me, I'm one call away. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, where I'm at, what time it is. I'm here for you, and I would never leave you out here. He's like, but the man you love, where he at? He ain't never here for you. And I'm just sitting here like, man, this nigga's right. I can't even be mad. Like, you're right. And I'm just crying out the window. Like, I'm sitting here looking out the window like, damn, trying to fix it. I'm sorry. Let me stop. I'm always quoting a song. So I'm just sitting here. I'm like, he right. He right. So I said, and I'm just like, thank you so much. Like, I really appreciate it. He said, you good. Like, you know, you're welcome. Keep in touch. I'm just like, thanks. So I go in the house or whatever. And mind you, I'm on the phone with my sister. My phone charged up. I'm on the house phone with my sister. And I'm just like telling her, like, bitch, no, I'm cool. That nigga's a fucking weird ass bitch. Because I even had my sister call his phone and he wasn't answering. So I'm just like, what the fuck? So I'm in the house chilling. We on the phone for like some hours. Mind you, at this time it's like 3 in the morning. 3 in the morning. Guess who texts my phone? Talking about some, baby, I'm so fucking sad. I'm so mad. Talking about some, baby, I'm so mad. I'm so fucking sorry. I'm sorry. Like, I'm so sorry. Where you at? You need me to come get you? Bitch, yeah, because I'm just still waiting in front of the Staples Center right now. I'm still standing here. Still here. Like, the fuck, dummy? So I'm just like, bitch, you're weird as fuck. Don't ever text my phone again. Like, you're the weirdest bitch in the world. Like, you know, I'm just like, we going back and forth. And he just like, no, for real, like, you would never believe what happened to me. And I'm like, I really don't give a fuck what happened to you. Just stop texting my phone. And he just like, nah, like, I almost went to jail tonight. The homies went to jail. We got put over. And he just like, you know, the fake name I be using is a underage name. So my mom, they couldn't find nothing. Like, so my mom had to come get me. Like, he wasn't underage, but he didn't have no ID on him. And he used to like use the name and he'd lie and say that he was a certain age. So he's like, my mom has to come get me. They took my car and all this. And he's like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry. He was like, where you at? I'm gonna come get you. I'm gonna come pick you up. And I'm like, bitch, I'm not outside no more. Like, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. You should have went to jail. Like, maybe I would have had more understanding if you would have been calling me collect right now, but I don't care. So he just like, wow, you don't give a fuck about what I went through tonight, what I went through, whatever, fuck you then, stupid bitch. Like, he really get at me now. He just like, I hope you die. You should have got hit by that bus you rode on tonight. And I'm just like, okay, yeah. I said, and you must be a snitch ass nigga, because how is all your friends in jail and you're not? I was like, yeah, stop texting my phone, snitch. Like, you know, and I'm just like, what the fuck? like no, he didn't try to get at me. Like, how you wish I got hit by the bus I rode? Like, bitch, you got me fucked up. So next thing you know, he's still just blowing me up. I'm not answering the phone. And then he just like, yeah, whatever, like, you probably with a nigga right now, fuck you, all this other shit, just all this shit. And I'm just like, he's weird. I'm not replying to him out. I'm just still talking to my sister like, this nigga's a weirdo. Like, you know, she's like, girl, yeah, fuck him. Next thing you know, we talking, I hear a knock on my window, like, and I jumped, I screamed, I said, oh, like, what the fuck? I said, girl, I don't know if it's the wind, but it sounded like somebody knocked on my window. And next thing you know, I hear, Symone. I cut the light off. Like, I was laying in my bed, but my light switch would be like right here, so I just went like, and cut that light off. And I was like, girl, why the fuck he at my window? And she was like, no, the fuck he not. He was like, Symone, I know you in there. I just heard you cut the light. I just seen you cut the light off. And he just hit in the window. So I went to the window. I'm like, what the fuck do you want? He like, bro, I told you I ain't got no car. I had my mom drop me up over here. Let me in. I'm like, well, no, just walk home or something. Like, I don't care. He like, I got all the money for your car. Like, come on, just let me in the house. Come on, just let me in. So I'm like, no. He's like, well, I'm gonna go ring the doorbell. And I didn't want my grandma and them to know, like, he was there. And then we arguing, all this other shit. I already came in the house with an attitude because I got left at the bus stop, y'all. So I'm just like, whatever. So I go, I open the door, and I let him in. And I'm just annoyed, and he just telling me all the stuff that happened, and he put the money on the bed, and he's like, here you go, like, here's the money. Like, I'm sorry, man, it's crazy. It was crazy. And he starts smiling at me. And I'm just like, how are you talking to me with a big smile on your face? Like, I could care less about your night. My night was more traumatic. Like, my night was very, very, very scary, y'all. I was left for dead. I don't give a fuck about your friends being in jail and your car being gone. I don't care. Like, so I'm just like this, picking up the money that he put on my brick. Like, he spread the money out on my bed. I'm just picking it up to get my car fixed. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, fuck you and them niggas. You're dumb as fuck. If you would have just came to me when you was supposed to, then none of that would have happened. He was like, I was on my way to you. Like, I was really on my way to you, and I got put over. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Putting the money in my purse, like, yeah, fuck you. So he just like, okay, well, I'm gonna spend that. I'm like, why? He like, because do you think I got dropped off here at 3 in the morning to just give you some money, then go? Well, I really don't know or care why you're here, like, you know, but I'm cool. Like, you know, I'm cool on you and that bullshit ass story. So he just like, man, just let me spend the night. So whatever. So he spent the night. So early morning, I'm like, you gotta go because I'm about to go get my hair done. So I text her. It was probably like 8, and I'm just like, hey boo, like, hey saltwater, I'm up, I'm getting ready. I was like, just let me know. Now I'm still cool. Like, you know, just let me know. I'll be on my way soon. No reply. It didn't even say delivered. So I'm just like, what the fuck? It didn't say delivered, none of that. So then time go by. No reply, still no reply. So I'm like, let me text her again because it did not say delivered. Still no reply. So at this point, it's probably like 11. And I'm like, she didn't hit me. She didn't reply. I'm like, her Instagram is deactivated again. Like, at this point, whatever. And mind you, we had each other on Snapchat too. But, you know, and she wasn't posting nothing. So I'm just like, what the fuck? So at this point, I'm just irritated. I'm like, everybody just have me fucked up this holiday. So I'm not even saying nothing, y'all. Not saying nothing. So y'all know Thanksgiving on a Thursday. She was supposed to do my hair that Thursday. Thursday go by. Friday go by, Saturday go by, Sunday go by. I ain't heard from her. Monday comes, and it's like Monday around like 10 in the morning, and she hit me up like, hey boo, I'm so fucking sorry. Like, you would never believe what happened to me. Like, I end up going to jail, but y'all, but you could still come if you want to come today to get your hair done because I had to bail out, and your girl really do need the money, lol. But yeah, you could come today if you want to. But that was when I was supposed to pick my car up. So, and I really didn't want to fucking depend on fucking crazy to do anything for me. Like, so I'm like, well, I picked my car up later today, so I'm like, how about tomorrow? Is Tuesday cool? She was just like, yeah, that's cool, that's cool. She's like, girl, I got a lot to tell you. Like, this shit is so fucking crazy. Like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, nah, you good, boo. Like, you good. And so I'm like, all right. So I'm telling Crazy, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, guess who finally hit me back up? Saltwater. And he was like, she did? I'm like, yeah, she hit me up. He's like, oh, well, I wouldn't even go to her because she play games. I'm like, well, I'm going to go to her tomorrow. I'm like, we just going to talk, you know, catch up. He's like, why? I'm like, because, like, I still want my hair done. Like, you know, he was just like, I guess, like, but why would she hit you up? Like, you know, so I'm just like, because she hit me up. Like, bro, she's supposed to do my hair. So Tuesday come, I end up going to her house or whatever. And I'm just like, hey, Saltwater, like, you know, and she was just like, hey, you know, I didn't want to jump into asking her, like, bitch, so what happened? Why your ass go to jail? So I just opened up the conversation by me telling her about what happened the night before, how Crazy left me and at the bus stop, and I don't believe he really got put over and all this other shit. She was just like, oh, for real? And she's like, well, speaking of that, let me tell you what happened to me. So she was just like, yeah, I was with my nigga and we was sliding like I told you. She was like, and we ended up getting into it, and it caused like a big scene. Like, when we was driving, we was kind of like doing too much. He was driving crazy. She's like, and we got pulled over, and she was like, he had some shit in the car, and you know, she was like, and he already like fighting the case, so I just took the blame for it. And she was like, yeah, but I'm not fucking with him no more. She was like, because yeah, she was like, I found out he was fucking with this girl and all this other stuff. So I'm just like, oh my god, for real? Like, wow, niggas ain't shit. I'm like, did he bail you out? She's like, bitch, no. Like, my people was calling him and he wasn't answering, and he was saying I ain't got shit to do with him. And I'm just like, wow, girl, you're a man's, your dude would do, wow, girl, you took a case for him. I'm just in my head thinking like, bitches is dumb, y'all, the whole time. Who's dumb? Anyway, so I'm like, wow, that is so crazy. She was just like, yeah. So I'm over here, I'm still getting my hair done, and Crazy texted me like, what you doing? He just owned it. I'm like, getting my hair done, like irritated. So he FaceTimed me, and when he FaceTimed me, of course she's doing my hair, so she FaceTimed me. I'm just like, what? I'm getting my hair done. Like, what the fuck do you want? And he just like, oh, okay, you just smiling in the camera, just smiling and looking. So I'm noticing like he's not really looking at me. So I'm thinking like, did he want to really just see if saltwater was real or something? Like, what the fuck? Because I could see he looking at her, so I just hung up. So after that, she kind of just got quiet. Like, we was talking, but not really. Like, she wasn't really talking like she was at first. So I'm just like, all right, whatever. Like, whatever. You know, she probably just still sad about how her nigga did her dirty. So later that night, I end up going to Crazy house or whatever, and we chilling. And y'all, let me just tell y'all how Karma is a bitch. Why, like, after I got my hair done, I went home. And why, when I was at home, because I was already going like just kick it in the house, like I wasn't even finna go to Crazy house. But why, guess what happened? Karma's a bitch. Why Crazy have a car accident? He had just got a new car too, like that Monday, because remember they took his car, so he had just got like a new car, like a little just get around car that Monday. Why he have a car accident? And it wasn't even a bad car accident, like he wasn't hurt or nothing like that. Like, it was just like the car was fucked up and he was just sore. So I'm just like, wow, Karma is a bitch. You left me for dead and now your car is dead. Oh, yo, that's crazy. Karma's a bitch, right? So I was kind of smiling about that. No, I'm just kidding. No, I was though. So I just really thought that was karma, because I'm like, that's what you get for, you know, for how you did me, like, you know, like, because I just didn't really believe his story about the whole pulled over thing. Like, I mean, he didn't have that car no more. I just didn't believe it. He be lying too much. So anyway, so he hit me up and he was just telling me like, oh my god, like, yeah, I'm finna go home right now. I'm just sore as fuck. Like, he's like, but I did go to the hospital real quick. You know, he's like, they just gave me some pain medicine. He's like, but come treat me or whatever. You know, he was just like, I'm not feeling too good, like, you know, I'm sore, like, come give me a massage, come do this, that, and that, third. So I'm just here, my dumb ass, yeah, I'm gonna come. So I'm over here just laughing, telling him like, damn, Karma's a bitch, that's crazy. And he like, man, oh god, that really is karma, how I just left you for dead. And now he thinking it's funny. Yeah, bitch, you left me for dead. So yeah, so y'all, so then we chilling or whatever. He took the little pain medicine that they gave him, and like I said, they go to sleep early as fuck at his house. And y'all, he's a dummy bitch. Like, he's a real dummy bitch. Like, he got it. He used to have that, you know, where your text message, it previews on the screen. That's how it was on his phone. So we chilling, and I took a picture of him and posted on my Snapchat. And I'm just like, I posted on my Snapchat, and I would, like, when he was laying there, like, he was laying on me, and I don't know. Nah, I ain't gonna insert that. I ain't gonna do that. But yes, because you know Snapchat keeps everything. So I posted on my Snap, and I was just like, big baby, laughing my ass off. I'm like, karma is real, but I'm nursing him back to life. And I posted that or whatever. And then I posted something else, like the movie was watching. And then I posted like he was sleeping. I was like, I hate coming over here. This nigga always go to sleep. I'm bored as fuck. Like, I'm posting all this shit on my Snap, like a few little things of him or whatever. So next thing you know, when I'm on Instagram scrolling, and I seen the hairstyle I wanted, because I'm like, ooh, next time I'm gonna try a weave, like, you know, I'm gonna get a weave next time from her. So I seen a hairstyle I wanted, and mind you, her Instagram was deactivated. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna send it to her on Snap. Even though we had each other number, we used to talk to each other through social media. So when I went to go show her the picture and DM like that, I seen that I wanted my hair done because I'm just bored up. Girl, y'all, why I see somebody screenshot my Snap stories, because I always want to just see who viewed it. So somebody screenshot my stories, and I look, why Saltwater screenshot my Snaps of the only ones that he was in? So I'm like, what the fuck? So right when I had sent it to her, I didn't want to like say, hey, why'd you screenshot my shit? So I had sent her the hair, and I was like, I think I want to try the weave next time. And y'all, next thing you know, she was just like, yeah. And I'm just like, okay. So the next thing you know, his phone started going off. And I'm just like, what the fuck? So he sleeps. So I just picked up the phone and it showed the preview. So it was a message, and it was like, laughing my ass off. You over there laid up with that bitch. It's cool. Like, you're really a weirdo. Like, and I'm just like, what? So I'm like, hold up. So then I try to go back to the message of me and Saltwater, and I didn't see her Snap no more. So I'm like, the fuck, that's weird. Like, she don't ever delete her Snap. I don't think you could deactivate your Snap. So I'm like, whatever. So I'm just back on Instagram scrolling, and next thing you know, I seen she was on Instagram again. Mind you, her shit was deactivated. So she reactivated her Instagram, and she made a post like, these bitches be so dumb over niggas or something like that, right? So I commented, and I was like, right, laughing my ass off. Y'all, next thing you know, I'm blocked. I thought she deactivated, but I was really blocked. So I'm like, hold the fuck up. The next thing you know, somebody was sending him images, and I couldn't see the image because that wasn't previewing. But then it was just like, it's good though. Like, I can't believe, like, I really took a case for you, and this how you gonna do me? Like, you still with that bitch? I thought you said you was done with her. And then it was like another, and I'm like, hold up. So I'm just reading. I'm like, I need to get in this phone. Who the fuck is this, y'all? Mind you, it wasn't no name. It was just the number. But when they said this part, this is when I put two and two together, when I should have been put two and two together. She was like, yeah, and when I did that bitch hair, I should have cut her shit off, and I really should have fired on her. And I was like, hold on. So at this point, I went to my phone, and I said, my contacts, and I said, let me see if this is Saltwater's number. I go there. Why the number that's texting him is Saltwater's number? So I said, oh, hell no. What the fuck? So I'm shaking him like this. Like, oh, like I'm shaking him real hard. Like, I'm shaking him hard as fuck. I'm like hard. Like hard. And he wake up. He like, what? Like, what? I said, what the fuck? You fucking with the bitch that do my hair? Like, you fucking with the bitch that do my hair? And he just like, huh? Bitch, stop saying huh to me. Because mind you, he was the type when he go to sleep, if he go to sleep, he's turning his phone off. He's swallowing it. That phone is gone, like, y'all. But he passed out because of the pain medicine, so he forgot to swallow his phone and turn it off. So, yeah. So he like, huh? And I'm just like, what do you mean, huh? I'm like, she's texting your phone. She's texting your phone. Like, I'm really just in his face with the phone. And I'm like, bitch, you got me fucked up. I'm gonna go like, you're a weird ass bitch. Like, what the fuck? So he like, what are you talking about? So I hit her up. Text message, and I was just like, Saltwater, you're weird as fuck. I said, you was fucking my nigga this whole time, and like, you just doing my hair and trying to be my friend and shit. I said, you're a weird ass bitch. And she was like laughing my ass off, bitch. She was all like, that nigga don't want you, and you need to get it together. Like, how much times you gonna be crying over him? Mind you, I never used to cry to her about him. I used to just tell her the nigga ain't shit. But she was just like, how many times you gonna cry to me about this nigga and you still with him? Like, you're really a dummy. So I'm like, what the fuck? So he just playing stupid as fuck. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know, Saltwater. So I'm just like, bitch, stop playing with me, to him. And he just like, what? So this is what I started doing. This is what I would get him to say shit. I started lying. I'm like, well, she told me y'all been fucking with each other since the summertime, and that she got pregnant by you, and she's pregnant right now. Like, I'm just lying. I'm just saying all this lying ass shit that she never said. So he like, hold up, wait, hold up. No, we wasn't. He gonna say, first of all, I met the bitch the same day at the mall when you met the bitch. And I'm like, wow, that's why you wanted to leave. And he like, and second of all, the bitch is not pregnant. There's no way that bitch could be pregnant. Like, only fucked her one time and we used a condom, and that bitch is a weirdo. So I'm like, took a case for you. I said, so what is she talking about a case? Like, what is she talking about? He gonna say, okay, well, that night that I was supposed to pick you up from work and I got pulled over, he's like, she was in the car, and he was like, she was in the car and she took the case. Like, she took the case. And he's like, that's not my fault. He's like, and I ain't talked to her since, and the bitch is mad. He was like, she's so mad because they thought I was gonna bail her out. And I'm just like, why the fuck would I bail you out? And he was like, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, so you never was finna come get me. So karma really is a bitch, because how was you finna come get me if you had this bitch in the car? Stop playing with me. He was like, well, I was on my way to drop her off and you called, and she seen you called, and that's when she got mad, because she was mad that I still was with you. So I'm like, hold the fuck up. So I'm like, when the fuck did she know that we knew? Like, what? So I'm mad. I'm like, what the fuck? And he was like, yeah, she found out that me and you was together when I picked you up from her house that day. So he wanted to be seen. He wanted her to see him. And I was just like, yo, I said, you are a weirdo. Like, bitch, you got me fucked up. I was so mad. I'm like, you still was letting me go. Like, you should have at least said, hey, I'm a dumbass nigga and I'm doing this and that and the third. And I'm just like, she's a weird bitch because you're hanging out with me. Like, bro, I was so hot. So I'm mad. I was so mad. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm finna leave. Like, bitch, you're weird. Like, you know, like, I was so mad. And he was just like, no, like, don't be mad at me, be mad at her. Because I told her, I said I would never leave my wife. And I'm just like, nigga, don't you ever be out here calling me your wife. When how you gonna call me your wife to a bitch that you fucking on? Look how dumb I look. Even though I look dumb, but I look even dumber. I'm like, bitch, we're not, like, stop playing with me. I was just so mad. And it's like, bro, you know damn well you probably told that bitch you don't fuck with me no more. Like, you probably told her some shit. Like, stop playing, y'all. I was so hot. But that's how I found out. And the bitch was weird. And I'm happy she didn't, like, put no shit in my head, no nair in my hair, or cut my hair and nothing like that. But she was really weird for that, because it was like, bro, when the moment you found out, me and her was kind of cool, but that moment you found out that this was the same nigga, you could have said something. You could have put me aside like, hey girl, not to be on no weird shit, but my nigga is your nigga and I just found out. Like, you know, she could have told me and then it would have just been a little bit better. But it was like, bro, you trying to be my friend and hook me up with your corny ass homeboy, and the fuck. So yeah, so that was the story time, and that shit was just crazy as fuck. I was so mad. When I say I was mad, I was hot, y'all, hot. Like, I was fucking hot, like hot. It was, oh man. Anyway, the aftermath, I could get into it another time because this video is already long as fuck. But anyway, y'all, if you haven't already did so, you already know what to do. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, give your girl a thumbs up and comment down below, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Vivalayoshii, and Merry Christmas, y'all.